Hi everyone. We just finished reading Otter on His Own, which was a wonderful story about sea otters. And today our craft is to make a little sea otter pup. And so the things that you need to do this with is a brown paper lunch bag, some brown construction paper, some other color construction paper, just depending on what you want to have the sea otter holding. Pair of scissors, a black marker or a black crayon, something to stuff your bag with. If you have old newspapers, that would be great. I have, unfortunately, a lot of, because I can't recycle and my niece can't recycle, we've been collecting some plastic bags. I usually use a cloth bag when I go to the store, but these are old and I would recycle them, but I'm going to use them inside of my bag today. And so we're going to make this delightful little puppet. So we're going to start by stuffing our bag. You want to open your bag up, and you're not going to stuff it all the way to the bottom. You're just going to put in enough. And it kind of makes it nice and plump, but that you would be, see, I don't have it stuffed all the way. And put my hand in here, and you want to grab it together. Make sure your stuffing is in there, and you're going to tie it up at the bottom, because this is what you're going to use for the otter's feet. So if you have a piece of string, you can use that, or if you have a rubber band, you can use the rubber band and wrap it around this. And if you don't have a rubber band, when your mom goes to the store to buy like vegetables and fruits, she sometimes gets these little ties. You can use one of the little ties and just wrap it around and twist it. So you have the bag. This is the body of our little friend. So what you're going to want to do is you can either rip this in half, separate this so it's like in twos, and you want to either rip it so it's like in two, or you can cut it so you have two pieces, two separate pieces for his feet. So now we have the body ready to go. So now we're going to make the head and the paws. And I also made a starfish for him to be holding. So remember, they like to eat all kinds of things like sea urchins and abalones and sea stars and little crabs and things like that. So what you want to do is go ahead and I've made what I call a template. And this bag, if you hold him up, you can see this bag is a little bit bigger than this one. So this head that I cut out ahead of time might seem a little bit big for the body. And if you think it's too big, then all you have to do is cut it down a little bit. So I went ahead and I made a template. And by a template, I thought, well, I want to have the head be the same on both sides. So I took a piece of paper, I folded it in half, and then I drew the shape, and then I cut it out. And so when I open it up, the ears are the same, and his little jaw line is the same. So I have all my pieces cut out now, and I'm going to make his face. And I also added little lines, little black lines all over to make it look like his fur. So we're going to take his head, his face, and we're going to make the eyes 2 black ovals. You could also make circles if you want. So we have the eyes, and now we make a nose, and the nose is kind of like an upside down triangle. And I'm going to color that in. And now, to make the mouth, I draw a little line down here, like this. And then I follow it around with like a little hook, like this. And so then I make another one for the other side. And there's his little mouth. So now I'm going to show his ears. And I'm just going to outline it. Like this to show the inner part of their ears. I'm going to color that in. So now I have the little face done. Now if I want to, I can go ahead and, I forgot something. I forgot its whiskers. Let's add some whiskers. And by adding the whiskers, you just make some lines by his nose. Oh my goodness, can't forget the whiskers. So here he is. And if you wanted to add the hair like I did, all you would do then is just make little black lines on the face like that, but leave it down clear down here. So you would just make little tiny lines all over, no pattern, and that kind of makes it look like he has some fur. So now let's do his paws. Because you're going to have them on the 2 sides of the body, you want to make sure you don't have the feet going the same way. You want to have them pointing towards each other. And you want to make where like our toes, where their pads would be. And they're just little lines like that. And you do the same thing for the bottom feet. They're kind of like, they almost look the same. Make sure they're pointing to each other, and you just make some little lines there also. So if you don't want to make them really hairy looking, you don't have to make the little lines on them. You could leave them just like this. And so now we need to put it onto our bag. So let's start by gluing the body on. Now remember, if you're using regular white glue, it's going to take a while to dry. And what you would do, as always, you glue the small piece and then you put it onto the big piece. So on this, you would glue right down here. And to save time for you, so I would be able to pick him up and show you when he's done, I'm going to go ahead and use my hot glue gun. And remember, have moms or dads or big brothers or sisters or aunts or uncles or grandmas or grandpas, whatever, use the hot glue gun, and you don't use the hot glue gun. It could burn you. But this will make it glue fast so we can see the finished product, and I can hold him up for you when he's done. So we have the head. Now let's go ahead and put the arms on. And on this, I'm only going to glue the very top. I put the glue right up here because I want to be able to keep his flippers open like this so we can put the starfish in so he can hold the starfish. So you just glue the very top. So we have his front paws. And then remember, we split the bottom. So he has the two sides. So we put glue on the one and press that down on the one piece of bag. And we take the other one, put a little glue at the top, and press this down on the other side of the bag. So now we have the little guy. And you say, well, what could he be holding? He could hold a baby otter, or in this case, he's going to hold a starfish, but you could make a crab or abalone or something like that. So on this, you go ahead and glue the middle, have the glue in the middle, and you put it up here, and you slide it in here, so it shows that he is holding the starfish. And there he is, your own little sea otter. And we'll have the, in case you would like to see the template, we will have the website that I kind of used when I made this sea otter. Thank you.